are, man, the #1 best epic champion for every faction. No voids included. We're going to keep it to the somewhat more accessible epic champs in this one. And honestly, we're going to start off with the Sylvan Watchers. They have a lot to choose from. Not many epics, but my god, do they have the quality. Pan is a great little nuker. Duodan has insane utility, especially into Hydra. Ruella's pretty solid. Oran is one of the solo carry gods. But for me, I think the pick has probably got to be Creodan. What do you guys think, man? There's a lot to choose from the Sylvan Watchers, man. But Creodan the Blue for me is just crazy as hell in so far as how he unlocks hard mode Fire Knight. But not just that, he's also just great into basically all wave content as well. So triple hitter A1 with the chance to place freeze. He's going to tackle enemies 2 times on the A2 each hit with a, oh my god, it's actually a 65% chance of placing freeze for 1 turn on each hit. So very, very reliable stuff. Wave control. And then on the A3, increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns and some 10-meter fill as well. So he really brings the utility to the table as well as the crazy, crazy control. Creodan the Blue. Oh my god, dude, how is this guy not a void epic? Next up, we've got the Shadowkin, and I've got to tell you the truth, man. My shout out for honorable mention in the Shadowkin. Again, there's a few that we can go to here, but dude, Hitatsu was great. I really, really like this guy. He's not my pick, but I still use him to this day. I use him in my Ice Golem team just to boost the survivability of the team, and he does an amazing, amazing job at that. He's such an all-rounder champ, and it was actually the first epic champ I ever pulled on the account, and so I ended up maxing him out for that. Don't regret it at all. I think that my pick, though, has got to be the man with the rolls. It's good old Taragi the Frog, and we ain't talking about sushi rolls over here, man, for the Shadowkin. Taragi is great. He's awesome into Fire Knight, but he's great control into basically all kinds of wave content as well. Many, many areas of the game, man. He's got the strong version of decreased attack on the A1. He's got an attack all with a 50% chance of placing provoke on all enemies for 1 turn. The chance increases by 5% for each debuff on the enemy team, so you can actually crank this up without too much trouble to get it up to like a 100% land rate, accuracy permitting, of course, but very, very, very good wave control. Then he brings the survivability to himself and the rest of the team with shielding across the whole team, as well as ally protect across the whole team, and then he heals himself and gets a reflect damage buff up as well. But one of the reasons that he's so good into clan boss is just his passive, man. When attacked, 50% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns. So not only is he bringing in all that extra survivability and of course the decreased attack on the A1, but he can also deal a moderate amount of damage to the good old Demon Lord as well. Taragi the Frog, yeah, he's quite the Giga Chad. Next up we have the good old Dwarves, man. And is it really even a choice here, to be honest, man? I mean, there's some good, there's some alright epics in amongst the Dwarfs, but I mean, Cornelia, like, hello. Like, there's some good ones here, dude. Morag is great, Gala's great. Oh, Gala's a void, she doesn't count, but, I mean, it's gotta be Geomancer, right? The guy is just an absolute machine when it comes to just obliterating in Clan Boss. Good Hydra damage dealer as well. He brings decreased accuracy on an AoE on the A1, which is great into Hydra. He brings the good old 10-meter depletion on the A3 that also doubles up as a weaken and HP burn debuff on that A3. Very, very good stuff. And then, of course, his passive is just nutty as hell. Decrease the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflect that damage onto each enemy under HP burn debuffs placed by Geomancer. If there are multiple champs on the team with a skill, only one will activate. Wherever this champion is attacked, deflects 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting the damage on each enemy hit, has a chance of dealing max HP damage, 3% max HP damage on this passive. The damage racks up like crazy. Most of my clan actually started playing it around the same time, so most of us have, who are hitting Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss and stuff, have Wixwell teams up and running. And like, there's 1 or 2 people in the clan who have Geomancer as their damage dealer in the Wixwell team, and they like triple everybody else's damage, man. Like, it's crazy as hell how good Geomancer can be. Next up, we've got the good old Knights Revenant, and you know what's coming, man. In the Knights Revenant faction, would you know it, we have Rector Drath, which you can get for free if you click on our sign up link down below at the top of the video description, man. Just click that link, sign up to raid, create a new account, and you'll get yourself to go and Rector Drath once your account hits level 25. One of the best support epics going, and definitely in the conversation for the best non-void epic in the Knights Revenant faction. That said, I'm just gonna do this a few champs here that I like. I did max up Thalesia. I think that she's great though she is quite squishy, and therefore she's quite gear dependent. You gotta build her to be tanky enough to like if you want to run her into Hydra, for example, she brings decreased defense on an AoE, increase the duration of all enemy buffs by 110 on an AoE on the A2. And she actually smacks quite hard too. She's a solid champ, but she is very, very low health and below average defense, making it quite hard to keep alive into Hydra. And I mean, Sinesh is obviously great. I gotta give the best Knights Revenant epic to Doom Priest, man. She is so easy to build. First of all, just make her as fast as possible and put her in a relentless set if you can, so she gets the extra 10 every now and again. And a passive, that's the only thing you care about. I mean, she brings an increased attack as well, strong version, which is great, but the passive, heal allies by a small amount of their HP and removes one random debuff from them at the start of this champion's turn. She's just a cleansing machine. So easy to build and such massive, massive impact. Yeah, she is on my A team right now in Hydra, and she holds her own so well alongside legendary and mythical teammates. It's not even funny. Next up, we've got the Dark Elves, who honestly are lacking a little bit in terms of really solid epics, I feel, which is kind of crazy as hell. I mean, they've got Durandal in there. This is a damn good damage dealer, very, very survivable. Yeah, good stuff. I do actually have Illyria up at level 50. I'm just going to leave her there. She has like an AoE freeze that, you know, it's kind of like the only thing that she does, but she's there. Crimson Hell might actually use in a Frost set, if you can believe that, but just in Faction Wars, AoE Provoker just makes that control a little bit more impactful. My Dark Elves faction isn't very strong, okay? I'm kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel a little bit with that, and getting some use out of a Frost set because I'm a total hipster, but yeah, it's got to go to good old Dark Kill, man. Dark Kill is crazy as hell. Triple hitter on the A1, each hit with a chance to instantly activate 2 poison debuffs, or 1 poison debuff and 1 HP burn debuff, and so he's triggering the crap out of those debuffs. He also brings, of course, the debuffs himself on his A3. 100% chance buck to placing 3 5% poison debuffs and a poison sensitivity debuff on the target for 2 turns. This guy is a king into Dragon. It's unbelievable. So he places all of these poisons, you put him alongside an HP burner, and then suddenly his triple hit is just activating the crap out of all of those debuffs and just burning the dragon down like crazy. And then, of course, on the A2, he also brings an attack all enemies with a 100% chance of placing strong version decrease attack. Each crit also has a chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1 turn. So much. I mean, this guy's basically legendary, man. This is called it like it is. I mean, there are plenty of legendary champs in the game that do not hold a candle to how good Dark Kill is. Yeah, excellent champ. Also technically free to get your hands on from just farming up Doom Tower. And yeah. And so that is my pick for the good old Dark Elves, man. Moving on to the Undead Hordes and consulting my notes. I've put a special reminder in here for myself. Honestly, there's a lot of good epics in the Undead Hordes. Unlike the Dark Elves, right? We're kind of spoiled for choice here for what we could go for. Anax is great. Inter-clan boss, very, very good indeed. Vogoth is incredible. AoE control, really, really good. Zelatar, Mausoleum Mage, Gorgorab, like this. I mean, Seeker is really, really good as well. I mean, Dark Elhain, I recently built out as well for my Ice Golem team, and she tripled the clear speed in that dungeon. It's crazy as hell. She's a very, very solid nuker indeed, and of course also free to get your hands on. I think I gotta go ahead though and give it to Husk, man. Husk is just solid, dude. A lot of AoE control and exceptionally high damage as well, which means that you can scale him up and take him into Hydra, man, as one of your key damage dealers in a Hydra team. So he just provides utility everywhere, man. Provoke on the A1 on a double hitter, very, very good. And attack all enemies with a chance to place stun at a, what, 60% land rate is this fully booked? 60% land rate stun. And damage inflicted is proportional to enemy max HP, right? Damage based on enemy max HP, which means the guy can hit for hundreds of thousands easily into bosses with a crapload of max HP, right? Obviously, we're talking Hydra. Ice Golem would be a similar story as well, you know? Guy absolutely smacks. Great into Spider too as well, because you're stunning the Spiderlings and smacking the Spider Queen boss for like 1 billion, you know? Just very, very good stuff. And then on his A3, I mean, you can just disable his A3 most of the time if you want, but attack one enemy damage increases according to this champion's current HP. That's Husk. Great into wave content. Very, very good into bosses too. Yeah, I think he's going to be my pick for the Undead Hordes, man. Next, we've got the Demonspawn, where I feel like there's a lot of average to above average style epics. We've got, of course, Allure. That's like a Fire Knight specialist, but that's kind of the only place where she's good. We've got Akoth, who's great if you need an HP burner. He brings a very, very consistent AoE HP burn, and of course you just get him from secret rooms, so you will eventually get him for free if you are lacking in the HP burner department, and so maybe he'd be very, very good for your account. We've got a couple of very, very good stun set users, one of them being Nazana, who has multiple attack all enemies skills, and just brings debuffs besides that, and so she's fantastic in a stun set. But again, quite niche. I think the crown has got to go to good old Magna. It's just got to. I mean, bar none, the best HP-based nuker in the game, generally speaking. Of course, Husk is going to outperform him into anywhere where max HP damage is what you're looking for. Whereas into Arena, wave clearing, that kind of thing, Magna is going to be the guy who shines, and he's really easy to build as well, right? Just high crit damage, then as much HP as humanly possible in that 100% crit rate, of course. And he's going to absolutely clap some cheeks. Moving swiftly onto the Orcs. Dude, has the Orc faction got any decent... Like, the Void Epics for Orc are actually, like, not bad. I do have myself a Tulf. He's not the subject of this video, but I am still planning on eventually building this guy out and just seeing if we can do something with him. His review is really not great, but those are the Void Epics, man. They are not subject of this video. We got some Trumbor action. Tagore and Yorg are actually two fantastic support champs. Both very, very, very powerful revivers. Probably S tier revivers, to be honest, as far as epic revivers go. Ultimate Galek, AoE HP bends. You know what, man? There's some solid, regular epic champs among the Orcs, but it's gotta go to good old Duck the Pierced. Not only does the guy look like an absolute badass, but this is one of those champs. He's not like, is he 5-star? Like 5 out of 5 star rating anywhere in the game, really? I don't think so, but I think he's like a 4 or a 4.5 star champion almost everywhere. He's one of the most versatile champs, man. Like, oh my god, double hitter with decreased accuracy on the A1. On the A2, he brings AoE, both decreased attack and decreased defense, both strong versions as long as he has 100% critical strike chance, right? Guaranteed to land these when he's fully booked up. Very, very good, man. Two key debuffs. And then he brings a provoke on his A3. It's a 4-turn cooldown provoke, but it also has the 75% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn on 2 random enemies as well. And so it's something of an AoE provoke also. And to be honest, as far as epic champions go, if I could pick one epic champ to like start off a new raid account with, man, it could be Duck the Pierced. I might go ahead and reach out to Plarium and give them a talking to about my promo link, man, and see if we can secure Duck the Pierced, because you know what, man, Duck the Pierced, Wrecked Dreth, which one would you rather start out a new account with? I think I'd slightly give it to Duck the Pierced, man. I think that he's just that solid everywhere. Next up, we're going to move into what might be the weakest epic champion faction in the game, where the likes of Yaga and Airsign Ironhide and Airsign Ice Crusher reside. I mean, we recently had both added to the Skinwalkers faction. He's not bad. Like, he's fine as far as epic champions go. He was added as part of like a recent fusion. But if we're not looking at the Void champs, honestly, even if you're looking at the Void champs for Skinwalkers, I mean, you've got Akemtum, who's pretty good, and then you've got Frenzy, who's fine. I guess Hofferes is also bringing the revive as well, so okay, there's like 1 or 2 decent epics for the Skinwalkers, but as far as non-Voids go, I think we've got to go ahead and give this to Finn. Absolute god tier epic single target damage dealer, boss killer epic, right? Very, very good into the clan boss. Has a little bit of 10 meter steal and a double hit on the A1, which can help out, I guess, if you're just getting started into the likes of Fire Knight. The A2 is an attack 1 enemy with a 100% chance buck to placing 2 poison debuffs and a decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. 2 very, very key debuffs required for early clan boss to help you get started there. Very, very nice. And then on the A3, attack 1 enemy 3 times. First hit has a chance... Okay, so it's one of those, right? Every hit has a chance to apply an additional effect. Decrease defense, strong version, weaken, and the third hit will heal Finn for her max HP for every debuff on the target. So it actually just brings the poison, decrease attack, decrease defense, and weaken. 4 key debuffs to be bringing into clan boss. Yeah, this is a real specialist epic. And to be honest, in lieu of there just being no really great competition among the Skinwalkers faction, that is going to be my pick. for the Skinwalkers. Okay, moving on to the Lizardmen. Jarek is great. Broodlord is almost great. Has like an AoE stun, but it's on like a 410 cooldown, and it's only like a 50% land rate, if I'm remembering correctly. It's something around there. And that's kind of all he does, which is a little bit sad. Qui-Gon is also a very, very versatile support indeed. I do have this champ and do plan on building it up to level 50. Yeah, just a great, great support champ. I think my pick for the Lizardmen is probably going to be Venomage. I think that's probably just got to be Venomage. Venomage is a fairly unique epic in that you can build your Venomage up to, I think, do you solo Dragon or is it Ice Golem? There's 1 or 2 dungeons that you can max out your Venomage and get him in like a regen set and stuff, and he could actually solo the waves and the boss in those dungeons, which is pretty damn impressive for an epic champion, and it allows you to run those dungeons while leveling food champions alongside the Venomage, and I think for that reason, that's primarily why I'm going to go ahead and crown Venomage, right? It's mostly because of the A3, 310 cooldown buck, attack all enemies, 100% chance of placing heal reduction, and also has a 100% chance buck of placing 2 poison debuffs for 2 turns. The heal reduction debuff is actually relevant because the passive is enemies under heal reduction debuffs inflict 15% less damage, so it actually helps Venomage to be a little bit tankier and more survivable than he would otherwise be. And then on the A1, you have a double hitter with each hit having a 50% chance of activating up to 2 poison debuffs on the target, and that's what gets you that boss kill speed, right? So it's not glacially slow. Yeah, I think for that reason, that's why Venomage is going to be my pick for the Lizardmen. Blasting through these now, man. Ogren tribes, what do we got here, dude? Oh my god. I mean, there are some not bad epics here, man. Gruckus is fine. Grush is pretty good, very, very versatile. Wuzgar's a little bit specialist, I guess. Big wave control from Shatterbolt, Skull Crusher, Shield Hulk is a good nuker. I'm working my way towards the inevitable here, though, dude. It's just gotta be Ugo. Ugo is in the conversation for, I mean, at least the top 5 most powerful epic champions in the game, including Void epics, in my opinion. Ugo is way up there. And I'm gonna do my best to remember that Ugo has breasts and is female while reviewing this champ real quick, because I always... I misgender the hell out of Ugo. It's because Ugo's a boy's name. Like, what am I supposed to do with that, man? You just chop the H off Hugo, and now I'm supposed to just, man. Anyway, man, chance to place Leech on the A1. It's fine. It's a nice little bonus. The A2 is insane. Attack all enemies, 100% chance of placing decreased defense, strong version, and a 75% chance of placing block buffs debuff for 2 turns. The chance of placing the block buffs debuff increases by 5% for each living enemy, making it exceptionally reliable into Hydra, which is where Ugo really excels. But honestly, Ugo's great everywhere, right? Also brings a crap load of healing and debuff cleanse as well on the A3, and then the passive straight up makes Ugo unkillable and speedy if Ugo is the last champion left alive, right? Which is relevant because if you can get back around to using your A3 again and Ugo's the last champ alive, then if all allies are dead, revive them with 50% HP and fill their 10 meters by 50% instead of healing, right? That's Ugo. She is absolutely insane. Yeah. I mean, it's just gotta be the best epic champ for the Ogren tribes, right? It's just gotta be. Alright, man. Next up with the good old Barbarians. Farrakhan, Huskarol is an absolute wave control stun god. Very, very good indeed. Jamarsa is epic tier reviver for the Barbarians. Is worth a mention. Alik is a crazy, crazy damage modifier nuker. Very, very good. Well, she is a little bit specialist. I think that just dialing it back to Farrakhan has got to be the pick, man. Yeah, the guy's just insanely solid into both Clan Boss and Dragon. Not bad into wave content as well. Just kind of good everywhere because of the nature of his kit. Strong version of decreased defense on his A1. Very, very good into basically all bosses. The A2, attack one enemy, has a 100% chance of placing an HP burn debuff and 2 poison debuffs for 2 turns. This is only on a 310 cooldown too, so you can really spam these out. Very, very good indeed. And then on the A3, increased crit rate and increased crit damage buff on all allies except Farrakhan. Then all allies except Farrakhan attack 1 target enemy. Which, I mean, just an extremely, extremely strong ally attack skill, especially for an epic quality champion. And this kind of skill, again, is just sort of good everywhere, right? Next we have the good old Sacred Order. And while there is a lot to pick from here, separating the wheat from the chaff here is kind of an experience in and of itself. Fenax is worth a mention. Mordecai is worth a mention. Great AoE HP burner that actually pierces through It kind of can't weak hit his HP bend, right, which is great. Yeah, there's just a lot of not great epics here. Oh, special shout out to Anchorite as well. Maybe there's one or two others that I'm missing, but yeah. Deacon Armstrong. Is this guy just like the ultimate Giga Chad epic of the Sacred Order without any real dispute? He might well be, man. He brings Leech on the A1, which is great. AoE, decreased defense, strong version on the A2, and then of course he also brings a little bit of 10 meter fill and 10 meter reduction for enemies, and gets that extra 10 as well on his A3. He's just an amazing, amazing all-rounder. Ooh, I didn't actually notice that, but his ally speed aura is active in all battles as well, so yeah, he's even more versatile than he might appear on the surface, man. Good old Deacon. We know him, we love him. Next up we have the High Elves faction, and let me tell you something, dude. I love good old Skaramis, man. I was this close to using my level 50 Skaramis in my stage 20 Ice Golem team, and he was just kind of edged out by my Hatatsu, because Hatatsu also brings an increased defense buff, which Skaramis didn't have. But yeah, he's definitely a great, great epic. Tyrell is a great epic as well, just for early game use. Does drop off a little bit, but he's one of those champs that's sort of just pretty good everywhere and is great for progression. Neldor's also worth a mention too. Vegas is a little bit of a solo carry champ against certain Doom Tower bosses. I think Scarab, unless I'm mistaken. But let's not beat around the bush, man. Ain't nobody beating out Royal Guard in this lineup. It's just not gonna happen, man. The A1, chance of placing strong version of decreased defense, insane. Attack all enemies on the A2, damage increases according to enemy max HP, just like Husk. It's one of those skills, man, that absolutely smacks. My Royal Guard is built out, I'd say, decently well. He's doing okay. He could be a lot better, but even my Royal Guard is hitting stage 20 Ice Golem for like 600,000, 700,000 damage. Same thing against Spider. He absolutely smacks with this skill, man. It's nuts. And for that reason, he's a great Hydra damage dealer as well, though he's quite low on the defense, so you are going to have a team in place that can keep him alive. But yeah, on his A4 as well, attack 4 times at random, each hit a chance of placing decreased speed debuff for 2 turns, and yeah, also brings a little bit of 10 meter reduction on this skill as well, so great into waves. Fantastic into Dark Fae as well, by the way. Very, very good into that Doom Tower encounter too. Yeah, Royal Guard has got to be the pick, surely. Last, we have the Bannerlords. And man, do we have some options to pick from here. Insane control and buffage coming in from Archmage Helmet. He's also the first Doom Tower Secret Room champ that you farm up with fragments, and so pretty accessible. I think a lot of people would lean towards good old Archmage Helmet as their pick, just because he's so accessible. Stag Knight is a fantastic champ as well. Brings key debuffs, and just an amazing champ to start your account off with as well, via various beginner promo codes and stuff. Honestly, I think most people would probably say Stag Knight. I'm gonna go ahead and go for what most people I think would say is like the third or maybe second best epic champ for the Bannerlords, and I'm gonna go ahead and shine a spotlight on Giscard the Sigilled, because I think this guy doesn't quite get enough recognition. I think he just brings a lot. I think he's an awesome, sweet little champ, man. Strong version of decreased attack on the A1, awesome. On the A2, attack all enemies, 75% chance of placing provoke debuff for 1 turn on all of the nerds, and also place a shield buff on this champ equal to 25% of his max HP. Very good, huge survivability, very good wave control. And then on the A3, brings the increased defense and increase attack buff, both strong versions on all allies for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown bugged. I really like this guy, man. He checks a lot of boxes, and he is well up there in, like, I'd say like the top 5 epic champs that if you could get them as like a starter champ on your account, very early days, he's one of those, man. I like him a lot, and I don't see him mentioned quite enough, so that's why I'm going to spotlight him as the last champ in this video. And he also gets a little bit of 10 meter fill as well whenever he's attacked by a provoked enemy, so that's pretty cool too, man. Alright, did you agree with my picks? I bet you didn't, so if you do disagree, make sure to go ahead and plop down your picks for some of the factions that you feel I screwed up in this video down below in the comments, man. For now, thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, we have an insane beginner promo link down below at the top of the video description, so if you're ever looking to start off a new second raid account or just get a fresh start on your raid journey, use that beginner promo link to sign up, and you'll get yourself 2 free epic champions to go once you sign up and wreck to Drath at account level 25. One of the best beginner promo links going. So there you do go. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm going to catch all of you all just a tad bit later.